This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Bramwell Opio, and today we are talking about that type of love that will stand the test of time. What kind of love is that, Benjamin?
And let's start by saying that love and marriage should not be your first priority in life.
Okay.
It is the subject of the conversation, but it should not be the subject of your life.
Okay. Get it?
There are merchants who start from the other angle.
Uh-huh.
You start to ask for what they sell, they first of all ask you another unrelated commodity.
Yes.
Whether you already have that other one. The guys who sell construction material like to ask you how far is your house. But if you have not yet bought a plot. So then I was chatting with drillers just to know how the industry goes. But they want to know how far is what is the setting of where we are drilling. Before they quote any price, they do a lot of preliminary check.
Okay.
Love looks like advanced construction. It should come from after other things are already in place.
Yeah.
The most disastrous mistakes of our generation, very regrettable, is that young people came out and started with love.
Yeah.
And I meet them later in life when basically they have sold out. One of them introduced a new term. When I asked her why she got married at 22 when she was still a student, got her kid, said just because of the excitement of getting married. And I felt sick. You can make a permanent decision because of
Excitement. Yeah.
Have you ever boarded a train because of
Excitement.
Have you ever boarded a plane because of
Excitement.
something that will change your location, your time, take you to... Can you get into it because of
Excitement.
You know, people have trivialized love by making a casual thing. We made love. Marriage also has the term love.
Love, yeah.
And they're also talking, I love you. So do you see the calculated confusion?
Yeah.
To remove the meaning from love. Love is not a shoe you wear
Right.
that you can remove if it's not fitting. It's a vehicle you board. It's a train. It's a plane.
Yeah.
Once it takes off, you are the mercies of the plane.
Yeah.
It will take you where it's going. If it crashes, it's crashing with you. And you can't control anything. You know, even stealing requires intelligence.
Yeah.
Some hijackers hijacked a plane and they had done their research that this plane can actually have a range, how long it can go before, how long the engines can run continuously. So they had seen that it can actually fly all the way to the continent, I think Australia, where they wanted to go. And it has taken off someplace in Europe. And then this model can go all the way to Australia without stopping. So they came to the pilot, take us to Australia or we shoot you. We crashed this plane. So, okay, yeah, it can actually fly all the way to Australia only if you had planned and fueled it. We don't have enough fuel for Australia. They researched but omitted a detail.
Yeah.
Many people are boarding love without a detail. Love can actually fly you all your life only if you had planned it, fueled.
Yes.
True. You carry enough replenishment.
Yeah.
If you are flying for 19 hours straight, the people you're carrying should have carried enough supplies, food, everything you need for that long. So, yeah, we can go to Australia 19 hours if we have the fuel and supplies.
Yeah.
The children will collapse for lack of food. The person who is boarding for 19 hours and they have a kid, they need to have carried
Supplies for that duration.
The plane itself needed to have done enough servicing to fly that long.
Yeah.
You are right. This model actually. But we have not fuel prepared for that kind of a journey. That's a problem with bringing love first. You bought it before you prepare, fuel, carry replenishments, plan your life.
Yeah.
And nearly everybody marrying before 25, they're collapsing before that 5.
Exactly.
Please, let me also remind you that there's some kind of divorces that always involve death. Okay. I know the first principle we say, people divorce to avoid death. But sometimes you both divorce and also experience death. Yeah. Death of your dreams, death of your youth, death of your time, death of your happiness. The kind of trauma that kills something in you. When you marry before you know who you are, one girl wrote kind of a thing on email, and I could see this is it. Yeah. I'm so confused. I'm crushed. I no longer now see the joy in life. Those symptoms of depression, and now it's prolonged. I can't attend class. I'm just stuck here. Sometimes I attend. Sometimes I fail. I'm lost. Since when that time guy broke up with me, and because I know the vibe, how 23 under 25 talk, I just point the attention there. How old are you? Of course, that was 3 years back. Now I'm 24, 25. And I'm asking her, you know very well the season you are in and what you're supposed to be doing. But you're jumping to love because it's sensational.
Yeah.
It's pleasurable. It's titillation. It feels you're shooting a cocaine in your system to avoid dealing with the stress in front of you, the life in front of you. And I said, the problem with the high that is brought by sex, drugs and relationships can sometimes have the same purpose, to take you to a fantasy island away from reality. Yeah. Many people jump onto club, onto sex, onto dating to avoid unpleasant reality. It's a drug. So today you know very well you're taking a drug, and when the drugs wear off, they always leave you crashing. Yeah. So this is just the downside of the cycle of addiction. You look around and find another one. Then you start again the cycle, and then depending on how long your cycles generally take. Some people generally take 1 year, others 3 years, that's 5 years. Others have one long episode of 10 years. Yes. Many people reach midlife after 3 cycles. Yeah. And it is the same copy paste. Why do I keep experiencing the same things in my relationships? Because the software is the same. Yeah. Setting is different. The instructions are the same. We call it photocopying because you use the light to copy. You are using wound pain copying. Pain to copy. So your relationships are just copies. And the love that lasts does not come first in your life.
Okay.
Love is an advanced, when you approach interior designers, they want to know how far you are with your house. Because they are tired of being wasted by wannabe. Yeah. And you are showing them different packages you have, and this fella has no plot, no house. It's just a dream in the far future. Yeah. And so they always start by technical questions. So what is the size of your house? That is a loaded question. To check, there's a hardware that sells kitchen only. Other guys sell only bathroom. So they ask straight away, are we talking about the master? This is for master, this is for common, for outside, the SQ, They want to hear where are we? Yeah. There's a way you answer quickly, they know you are in the industry. So what is your theme color? Especially when they see men, they know usually we are not the decider of the color. We're just the decider of the budget. And they always know most guys don't buy on first visit. Yes. You come to compare prices, then you bring the real decision maker. So are you working with silver or gold? Let me remember. When they see you struggling to remember, they know very well, surely, you are not the person who is designing the interior. They'll be playing with a certain theme. Yeah. And you can buy a very good thing, but doesn't fit with the language. Language. I was told new vocabularies. But the whole thing has a language. Yes. A theme. An energy. Yes. So you don't bring something off key. Yes. Something facing. Even if you like it very much. Yes. But these things don't go alone. They go together. And they can see you purchasing that and you're trying to buy that. They tell you, after purchasing that, it won't go well. It should go with this. That's just advice. Because it won't match the class, the ambience. Love comes after other things. What things are those? Identity, self-discovery, confidence, healing. Now, when I say healing, I say, I did not have abuse as a child. Healing is not always about abuse. Think of healing as peeling.
Yeah.
To peel your real self from all the layers of acting. You know, sometimes parents teach children to be people pleasers.
Yeah.
Unwittingly. No, greet people, obey elders, don't answer back, be obedient. So we teach them to say yes to everything and to silence their own. And we are doing the easy work instead of telling them, okay, be respectful, but also when you have to say something, when you're uncomfortable, speak up.
Speak up. Yeah.
That part is not taught. So by the time you peel off all the layers of who you are not, that have been imposed for people to shape you to what they were comfortable with. The things that come before love involve such a critical thing as unveiling your true identity.
Right.
You need to identify who to marry, but you need to have identified who you are so that you match what you are with what you want. Forget making love. Sex outside marriage is not making love, it's destroying love.
Yeah.
I told you in another show that exposure to porn has an after effect that is long lasting and very difficult to deal with. That is mental contamination. Sex before marriage has a similar effect. Contamination with impulsive urges and moments. You pursue this girl, pursue this guy, you talk for months, but that moment when you come to get physically intimate gets imprinted in your neural because of the intense dopamine release. And that moment starts getting compared with all other moments. You do that with another woman, it starts to replay when you're trying to have a decent, romantic, deep connection with your partner, and it comes in energetically to disrupt, to make you feel like you have no control. They're playing the images as if they have their own life. Sex, the things you're doing before marriage become viruses with their own existence. They become intrusive thoughts. Can you get them out? Yes. After a lot of work, you know, like cleaning up a sticky thing. You remove it from where it was, it attaches to you, then you attach another place, then you attach a lot of fight to get it out. The struggle and the fight for building the life, it's like excavation. And that's why people avoid it.
Right.
Many people are going to relationships for asylum, for a hideout from the difficulty of working, difficulty of unveiling who they are, working on their personality. That should come first. The love that will last is love that is coming on top of a period of self-discovery. If you start dating at 17 and 18, you're committing a slow suicide. You're making it impossible to ever experience love. Love has an inbuilt punishment. You come to it, before you build life, you'll be denied both the love and the life.
Yeah.
Inbuilt punishment. You try to skip to the good part. You know, that's what young people are doing. And they're singing songs like that.
Yeah.
That's a meme. Skip to the good part. So there is no skipping to the sweet part. We start with the sour.
Yeah.
We go to the sensitive. We'll get to the sweet after build up.
Yeah.
After I build up. But you see this microwave Instagram generation. Instant coffee, instant gram, they transfer the same instant. That's why they're dating men who are instantly rich.
Yeah.
Rich now, the life now, the cars now. We have been acclimatized to unreal thing. For love to last, you need to have proven yourself worthy of it by journeying to come to it. And you come to it. Self-discovery may take a lifetime. When every season of life, another layer of you is peeling off. But the first layer, you must discover it first. Who you are, aside from family, school, the people who shaped you, you appreciate the heritage of values, the heritage of how they took care of you. But you also develop the capacity to know, this is who I am, this is who I am not. And I told you the other day that the hardest question and the most important question to answer is, who am I?
Yeah.
Try to answer it and you realize it's not easy. And yet it's the most important.
Yeah.
The most important question about this object is, what is it? The same to you. What is you? Who are you? What are you about? Where are you going? Where are you coming from? What goes with you? What doesn't go? When they sell you an object, they write a manual there. What this is, where, how to handle it, how to make it work. Do you have that manual? That's the manual you discover earlier. To know what works for you. And I told you how to describe yourself. Always imitate your origin.
Right.
If you want to know, go to your source. Who defined you, made you like himself. Every now and then he describes who he is. In the context of war, in the context of justice, I says, I am the Lord God, all abundant in mercy and love and, helping the weak. When you see him describing that way, you see the context here. What's this? Also you learn. In the context of when they're interviewing for journalism, you describe attributes of yourself that are relevant to journalism.
Exactly.
When it is friendship, you describe yourself in the context of friendship. I am Pramal. I value honesty and loyalty. That's why we are here, to support our friend. I am Pramal. In another context of family, I like it when we show up for each other as family. And as a team, we look out for each other. That's why I came. You have defined yourself. Many places you are introducing yourself. It's not just the name.
Yeah.
Bramwell doesn't tell us a lot. The name Bramwell is not enough. Many times you always add a few, who am I?
Yeah.
Many people may stop at the profession, but you don't stop at the profession. You stop at who am I in this context. And when they give witness in court, they are made to swear that they are honest. They're being honest. They bring books of faith. Because it's your faith, I told you in another show, that determines how honest you are in life, how truthful. They make you place your hand on a Bible or Quran or the book you believe and swear that you're telling the truth. By that God you believe. And it's because faith is the foundation of who you are. But most of the faith you have when you're in secondary school is inherited, is borrowed, or it's all context controlled. We can't tell how honest you are with it. Whether away from these people, you'll practice it. That's the season you spend to prove to yourself who you are.
Yeah.
After you see the difficulty of controlling who you are, managing your own weaknesses, after you appreciate the challenge of dealing with the people, when you finally begin to date, you stop taking those things lightly. The difficulty of teaching immature, naive people about dating is because they have not faced life.
True.
They're overlooking heavy things, thinking it's an easy thing. I thought she would change. I keep blocking these young people. I tell them this is the wrong conversation at the wrong time. Go back to class. I'm already teaching you guys, and if you don't go there, I'll block you. Don't type that nonsense here. One of them, because she's driving, she has a job, she's only 23, somewhere in the US, she thinks that she's fast out, and she thinks that she's talking. It was just yesterday. She's just talking, saying, this guy we've been dating, suddenly he went to depression, he lost his money, he's made bad decisions, now he's not talking to me, I'm looking for him, I'm wondering if I walk out, I might be trying, I might just affair with a friend, we have been in a relationship, we were planning to get married. I said, shut up. I will not discuss him, I will discuss the season you're in.
Yeah.
At 23, you know very well. You're supposed to be growing, discovering yourself, developing. The conversation about choosing a man now is out of place. You don't have the capacity. And I will not describe relationship because you're stumbling on the huge red flags of life. But because you have not as much as attempted to grow yourself, you don't know that financial mismanagement, that a person being in crisis, that a person being unstable and in a shaky place is already a huge mistake to try and date being there. And you're mistaking loyalty with the choices. I tell her, you're making so many mistakes, I can't sit there to enumerate them. But you're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. I told her, I don't like watching horror movie. That's the language I use for pre-25s. If a person wanted to kill themselves and they ask you to sit there and watch, do you want trauma?
No.
I don't want to see suicide. Tell them, I don't want to witness suicide. I have enough chaos in my life to deal with, and after all, with the people who can pay me. There are no answers with pre-25s. They get into problems and the solution, they can't afford it.
They can't afford.
They can't pay professionals.
Yes.
And they're busy going to problems.
Yeah.
I tell her, you can take the next 2-3 years to grow yourself. Or you can continue brewing the trauma that will occupy all your life. The problem with people bring love before life. They get into such blunt, traumatizing, deep crashes. 50-50, the motivational speaker said you there's a second chance every time.
Yes.
But I know otherwise. Some injuries, some physical injuries, people don't recover.
Yeah.
They're amputated. Some, their physical is changed. Some burns, they change who you are. Psychological traumas, many of them are that degree.
Yeah.
You never go back to who you are. I told a young lady, after this kind of nonsense, you'll never be the same again. You will never experience that love you're impatiently rushing to. Because she said, I've been following you for 3 years. Don't insult me. You can't say you've been following me for 3 years and committing the same mistake I keep warning people every day. And you know, many of them are coming carrying money. I'm willing to pay for this. Pay for what? And there's a time I wrote and said, people work for
money.
Great people work for a cause.
Yes.
Before they work for cash.
Exactly.
They check whether they can carry out change before they ask for change, the money.
Yes.
Before they charge, they check whether they can change. I checked your attitude. Can I journey with you? And I told her, with pre-25s, I only discuss self-development. How to learn men in theory, using books to know the kind of narcissists there is out there, both female and male, how to tell in-laws who can be headache, how to see people who have managed their lives, how to try and control your sexual urges. Many of them are dating because they can't control themselves.
Yeah.
How to try and manage yourself and control your feelings and your loneliness. Yeah. How to make yourself happy after you have attempted and struggled with it, lost severally, woken up again. You appreciate when a person has journeyed into themselves.
True.
You put that as a requirement in your dating. How a person keeps themselves busy, or they must bring a person to fill up the space. Many people are doing sleepovers because being alone is too troubling.
Yes.
They see ghosts. You know, they are haunted by their fears. They're not just talking about the fear of darkness, that may be just phobia. But some people actually, being alone is very uncomfortable. They can't stand it. That's why they keep getting people cohabiting, doing this. And I tell young people, if you miss the prerequisite courses, you will not be admitted for the real course.
Exactly.
The prerequisite course for love is managing your alone time, managing your small money, managing your boredom, learning to make yourself happy, managing your energy, keeping friends, being betrayed by one or two.
Yeah.
So that you stop trusting everyone.
Yeah.
Having a fallout because you succeeded. You know, you think people betray you because you have gone to rock bottom? No. Sometimes because you are going to the mountain top.
Yes.
There are two ways you get transformed socially. When you go to the rock bottom,
Or mountain top.
yes, you lose a lot of people. So you learn a lot of things. The second love that will last, just give you two things. The second love that will last is a love that you ride rather than, you know, that people take love and they just wanted to feel good. They take it as a continual feel good sensation, ecstasy, stimulation, distraction, pleasure, fun. And for them, love is all these good things. But when you take love as a journey with ups and downs, but it's a thrilling ride, an adventure. And we used another show, we said, you shall take love as a scouting, you're traveling across the jungle of life.
Yeah.
And when you find your lover, it's a co-traveler. So you want a person who has the feet to walk. Sometimes they're the ones who can help you cross the bridge.
Yeah.
Sometimes you carry them, sometimes they carry you, sometimes you hold their hands, sometimes you look out for each other, sometimes you hunt for food, sometimes you look out in the dark, sometimes you're using one torch. Just imagine the expedition of crossing a forest with a person. That's the closest description of love.
Yeah.
commitment to see each other to the end. I saw a meme I loved that I just want to hold your hand at 80 and say, finally we made it.
Yeah.
That should be your goal. That when you arrive at the other shore, when we are looking back and we are saying, the sunset is here. Our generation is checking out. Brahma, you don't have to fear death. You know your time has come when your friends start. Lucky for you. People come in batches and live in batches. You remember the year you graduated?
Yes.
The class of 2012? The same way. Every time the Bible mentions death, mentions the group.
Yes.
Joseph and his brothers and all that generation died. When David served God in his generation, he rested. Yes. So please don't worry too much. Okay, sometimes some people can die too young or outliers here and there, but in a general sense,
in batches.
You don't have to overthink.
Yes.
And that's why I encourage you, keep your WhatsApp groups.
Yes.
From your graduates. You know which rivers are we crossing now? Yes. You know, and it can help when you see some people taking their kids to secondary school. Yours are just behind you. It's never that far apart.
Yeah.
It's just, you know. And so when your generation begins to exit, when you attend the funeral of your classmate, the third one, another one, now that conversation will be possible with your partner. As we escort our friends, can we also have a debriefing? As we see off, our friend, seems like the general time for, you know, how do you think about the whole thing? Me too. You know, I imagine when my sisters, you know, you are the same generation with your siblings.
Yes.
Africa, sometimes age gap is so big, it confuses you. But in a natural setting, you and your siblings should be the same. In healthy, sane families. Joseph and Simeon Reuben, they were called one generation.
Yes.
The difference might have been 10 or at most 15 thereabout years. And when it's one group with one surname, even when you are burying your firstborn, you may not look that young. Even you.
Yeah.
You know. And I remember when the older sister to my dad died, the reality dawned. These people might go into succession where they were born. Yeah. And it happened that way. The next was my dad, younger. Look at that. You know. And they were not afraid of death at that point. When they are talking about their friends, they're saying, yeah, my friend has left and I know the times of God and times of life. And what David told his son Solomon, I'm going the way of all the earth. The way of all the earth. The aim of love, the love that will last, is when you see it as a journey with an end.
Yeah.
Not a demand for intense pleasure. And when you're no longer making me very happy, I'm not happy with you, I'm getting another one.
Yeah.
Not every time being given. We are both in the journey, and children is part of our project to raise good children. If it's properties, you keep raising that, developing and saying, where are we now? Milestone, where are we? Things happen sometimes out of your control, but you don't plan for them. Don't start fantasizing divorce or death of your partner. You plan for the journey. Yeah. We are journeying, we are going. When you finally arriving, you're saying, we made it. How did we become? What did we do? What was our legacy? So what does the kind of love that lasts is a love that is coming when you have built the prerequisites of deciding the direction of life you want to go, and then going to the love that already you have a direction for. Get a person who's going that direction, the things you're living for, the goals you're going to, the person you're becoming, the values you are carrying, who you want to become on the way. You get a person whose life which you have already predetermined. So don't come to me telling, this person does not like working, staying at home. Why did you come together? You rush to love before life.
Exactly.
When you decide life, you already know, I want this scale of success, this scale of self-drive. And we are not saying people can't change, but many of these drastic changes are not really changes. The person was always like that. Yeah. You just rush to them because of feelings of love. Had you taken the time to determine the speed and the quest, the hunger that will drive you, that's the vibe that will connect you. And you will say no to good people because you can't feel that rhythm.
Exactly.
Yes.
And talking about the kind of life that you've actually planned will actually determine the kind of person you're bringing on board. Sometimes we fail to understand, Benjamin, that I might be ready for marriage, but the person I'm looking at, they're not ready themselves.
Yes.
So we tend to actually push too far until we attract. This person might be good, but the timing is always wrong.
And let's warn ourselves against that, because sometimes you are very persuasive and the person is vulnerable to you.
Yeah.
But early on, before feelings take over, they become honest and tell you they are not ready.
Ready. Yeah.
But you refuse to believe. Because you are told not to give up.
Yes.
There's a difference between quitting and knowing when not to try again.
Again. Yeah.
Lest you win the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So have this sincerity of accepting when things are not aligning.
Yeah.
We have good feelings, good chemistry. This person, during moments of sobriety, they confess that this is not the time for them. If you win that person, they will never rhyme. Even if they try, some people are willing, they're just not rhyming. Yes.
And then something that we fail to understand is being able to tell whether we are operating on the same wavelength.
And when you say wavelength there, we're saying the things that matter to you.
Exactly.
And the speed or the rhythm, the intensity. Do you know when you are when you're not rhyming on the same wavelength, you may aim at a goal and it looks crazy to me. It's not real to me. It's outlandish.
Especially the high achievers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we said if you tie a tuk-tuk and a Mercedes Benz, the tuk-tuk might be going at a comfortable speed of 65.
Exactly.
When it Mercedes 65, feels like it's just starting.
Yeah.
Somebody was joking that some cars are made for speed, that if you go at 80, it will switch off. It's at idling. You know, before you feel the engine, you've already overtaken everyone.
Exactly.
If you are like that, why are you jumping to things before you develop eyes to see which one is fellow Mercedes, which one is a fellow tuk-tuk,
Yeah.
which one is a tuk, and with all due respect to their life, some are tractors. They're not made for speed, they're made for farming. So they're moving slowly because they are farming. This is a farm equipment. This is not a racing machine.
Yeah.
Some of your purposes are so different. Remember we said somebody's ideal life may be to retreat to a serene village in Chavakali. And make a quiet chicken farm.
Yes.
And avocados, especially the South African type of avocados. And a few beehives and sugarcane. And they have gumboots, the white ones, the black ones,
And the green ones.
and a very quiet motorcycle with a crate for delivering farm products every day. That is their perfect life. So you meet them in the university, thinking because both of you are in the university, we are dating, we love each other.
Yes.
Your life was to migrate to somewhere in Addis Ababa to work for United Nations. Then they're going to Chabakali.
And you're going to therapy.
That is also wavelength. Which direction are you going? The aim is to say, clarify that part first, so that you don't condemn.
Yeah.
Those whose perfect life is to grow maize to feed Kenya.
Yes.
And your goal is to bring peace between the warring communities of the Far East. And you are joining the International Peace Committee. So that's your wavelength, that's your direction, that's your compass, that's your true north.
Yeah.
Please beg university students, search your true north before you search the lover of my soul, my forever, I promise you everything. Like, search your true north.
Yes.
Whoever created you put something in you. Everything God created has a rule. The earth rotating and revolving. The sun, what they did not tell you because maybe your small mind could not have. The sun is not stand still.
Yeah.
They taught as if it was stand still. The sun itself is moving.
Yeah.
And everything else. You have a movement. Dedicate a path for you. When he said, let there be light, this is another fact they don't tell us. He did not say the light to stop expanding. It is still expanding at 186. The light is not stand still. So they even discovered recently the universe is receding itself. It's expanding.
Yeah.
You have a direction. You have a purpose. Find that first. And you said, sometimes God will fight your marriage because it replaces him.
Powerful.
You sought it instead of seeking him.
Yes.
Then you're asking him to bless the idol that you used. Be careful. Some brothers went to pray for a woman who was sick, the wife of their colleague. And one of them who had spiritual sensitivity felt that they should not pray for that woman. If she wakes up, the man will sleep. She's oppositional. She quarrels him. He can't work. He can function. But when she's bedridden, the man is functioning. Yes. Sometimes when you start with marriage, you replace it with your mission.
Yeah.
It will be fought, abandoned, left, not helped, because you put it in front of the critical thing.
Yeah.
Don't be greedy and selfish. Just ask yourself, who invented the idea of Brahma? It's not my parents. Even then, they were doing gender reveal. Which is it about your? They were also discovering you. They could not have made you.
Yeah.
Who made you? What did he want for you? You're not a cow to just date and mate, and enjoy your, and die. There's another reason beyond marriage. Marriage was supposed to, Eve came to help a purpose that was already existing in the man. Find that Eden, find that garden, find that work. Then the helper, even if you are the woman, the man aligns with that.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching the show. Let's do this again next time.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better